Robert Weiner joins us, Democratic strategist, columnist, former communications director for Clinton drug czar General Barry McCaffrey. He's also former chief of staff of the House Committee on Aging, and also was a press secretary for both Congressman Rangel and Conyers of New York and Michigan, respectively. Bob, good to have you back as well.
It's a pleasure, Alan, to be with you on the day that Romney once again made the brilliant statement of how he's one of the 1% by saying, yes, he has friends who are NASCAR team owners, when he was asked if he had any empathy for people who like NASCAR.
Bob, to you, looking at this Associated Press, and just to let everybody know, this was actually published the end of last week, February 24th. And here's exactly what it says. Most people, this is from the Associated Press, most people like President Barack Obama's proposal to make millionaires pay a significant share of their incomes in taxes. Yet, they'd still rather cut spending than boost taxes to balance the federal budget. Bob Weiner.
Well, on that point, Alan, people also poll, they never want to drop taxes if it means that you're going to cut Social Security or Medicare. So you ask them the specific issue, and they say they're willing to pay more taxes.
The American people prefer, in general, to have spending cuts versus tax increases. So what you just stated about a specific venue of discussion should be understood as not emblematic of the norm. You understand that, yes?
No, I don't understand that, because over two-thirds...
Well, what disconnect do you have with the Queen's English? I can help you out here.
The question? Over two-thirds of even millionaires say that they should be paying more taxes so that the country doesn't have to go into the deficit as a matter of fairness, and about 70% of the American people as a whole.
You seem to be intellectually incapable of just acknowledging the finding itself. Why is that?
Because there's so many polls to the contrary. The polls to the contrary show that people are willing, for the sake of the economy and for the sake of the programs, to pay even more taxes. And especially
that's only to the extent that they believe,
and unfairness
but that's only to the extent, and you can check out Bob's website at Bob.
WeinerPublic.com, WEINER Public.com. Thanks, Alan.
All right, anytime. Now, listen, Bob, I promised that I would give you a chance to chime in on Keystone upon a return, but I lied. I want to go to basket weaving contest with Amy right now. No, go ahead, Bob. You're going to say on the Keystone Pipeline and why you think the administration was correct in doing what they did.
Well, that isn't actually what I wanted to say, because I might agree that Keystone could be allowed, given a little bit more time to just take care of the environmental crossing the T. But that's not what I wanted to address. You asked Amy, how do you deal with the oil prices? They get $4 billion in subsidies. Taking those away isn't going to help the prices, although it's unjustified given their $130 billion in profits that they've made every year in the last several years, $100 billion a year. Here's the deal, though, Alan. There is no supply downturn. It's all based on the rhetoric of fear and Iran and war and all that. So action can be taken. What needs to happen is there needs to be, the speculators have to be put a little bit under a leash. There has to be some kind of an oil price commission that overlooks the speculators. Obama should bring in, and I'll take both parties on when I need to. He needs to jawbone the oil company leaders, bring them into the White House, and the oil reserves. Whether it's Clinton or Bush 1 or Bush 2, they've all done it, and there's been a 10 to 38% price drop when they've released a little bit of the oil reserve. So there are some actions that can take place. They haven't happened yet. I hope Obama does them.
Then wouldn't replacing that belief with a perception of increased supply accordingly reduce those prices? It doesn't seem like you can have one without the other, Bob Weiner.
Well, supply is not the problem. It's rhetoric that is creating the price increase, not supply. So
hold it. You're telling me that supply has no influence on rhetoric, so
I'm
therefore
saying that
people
the
are just...
supply is fine right now for what everybody needs around the world. There is no supply shortage on oil. It's a matter of the speculators that are playing on the fears of the Iran war. That's what's going on.
So why is he taking credit for that which he has actually been fitfully opposing? Bob, how does he get away with that?
Just like the myth of him cutting the defense budget, the myth of him not getting al-Qaeda when he got bin Laden. It's a myth that he has tried to stop the production of oil. He has done it in a responsible way, and there's a 350% increase in the places that are producing oil. Even on oil, the Republicans want to say that he wants to stop the production of oil, and it's not true any more than, for example, that he wanted to take away your guns. They throw every fear out.
Why is this man taking credit for leases that were granted by previous administrations? Bob Weiner.
He could have blocked a lot of those leases. He blocked none of them because...
For which he had nothing to do with bringing about.
Well, you want to keep saying that. I just won't answer, I guess, because I told you that he has not blocked the leases that he allowed to take place.
How is his not blocking a lease analogous to having anything to do with approving leases that are bringing about all the production we're now witnessing.
He has allowed the exponential increase in the leases and allowed his Interior Department to continue them instead of instructing them to stop them, which the Republicans try to claim he did.